Okay, let's fix up our game over screen real quick. So the main camera, I'm going to go ahead and change the color to black here. And then I'm going to, we want to have some text that says that, so I just imported a Text Mesh Pro text. And I'm going to say, final score. And then let me move this up to the top. And then you could, center that and make it a larger size if you want, something like that. And then you can change the width here. Okay. And then let's do that again. So we're going to, for a new text field, we're going to actually have a text for the score. So what do I want here? UI, Text Mesh Pro again. And let's label this score. And then we'll just get like 10 out of 10 for now. And then we could make this font size a little bigger as well. And how about we center that? Okay. And final score, y is on the X position. Let's make that 0 so everything's centered. And this one is also centered. Okay, now we need a script for this game over scene. So let's go to our scripts folder and create a new script. Remember here, mono behavior script. On some of you it says C# script. And we're going to say game over menu. Let's create a blank. Sorry, this is it's making the script. Okay, so let's make a empty game object and rename it scripts. I don't know, I like to do that. Double click canvas and you can see the canvas. And on the scripts, let's drag the game over script onto it. Okay, now let's edit the file so that we could adjust this score. Okay, now a couple of things. So we need to first type using TMP Pro, TMPRO, and then we are going to create some fields here. We're going to say public. I think it's Text Mesh Pro UGUI, and then we will call this, let me see, score text. And then we need public, yeah, we'll just do score text for now. Okay, and then let's see if we can access that and change it. Let's just say score text dot text equals, and we'll just make it say anything for now. 2000. Okay, and then semicolon. So no errors on there, and we just need to make sure we drag a field should pop up here if we did everything correctly right there. So the score text, let's drag that in. And when I push play, it should tell it to say, what did I write? 2000? It should say 2000 right here. 2000, yay. Okay, now, but we want to, instead, we want to actually put our score from when we were playing and just have the final score displayed there. So we're going to do that by creating a file that can transfer information from scene to scene. And to do that, you want to make a what's called a static class. Okay, and so if you take a look here, public static class, if you put this word here in front of the word class, like these other ones just say class, and then it has mono behavior, we're going to make a class and we're going to delete the word mono behavior from our class. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so back here we're going to go ahead and say create, let's see what happens if we go scripting, empty C# script. Let's do that. Okay, well, I'll just go let's see. We'll go mono behavior script and I'll just adjust it. We'll say we're going to call the script report card. How about that? Report card. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so report card, I think that'll kind of keep track of our stuff. And then I'm gonna edit this. So we're gonna double click to edit this, and we're gonna take the mono behavior off of here. So just delete that. And we're gonna write the word static in between here. So public static class report card. Now these are underlined, so let's see what is up with that. We don't want it looks like they use static in their variable names as well. Well, we're just going to store information here anyway, so we don't need this stuff. And so let's just type in public static integer problems int, and then problems correct. We're going to use kind of the same, and then problems total. And we use these names in our other file, right? Problems total. Okay, and we're just going to basically save into these from the math level 1. So we'll at first they start out at 0 if you don't give them any value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell this to spit out what report card has saved for these items here. So I'm going to borrow some code real quick. I'm going to do this. I'm going to borrow this. I'm going to copy this right here. I'm going to copy this. Command C. Whoops, I missed. I'm going to borrow this from math level 1, and I'm going to reuse it in the game over menu. So instead of that, I will say score. Sorry, let me do this better. Score text dot text equals, and then I'm going to kind of delete this part. And then we're going to say, so it's going to say score, but problems correct. That's not, these don't exist in this file, but we could refer to the report card. So we could say report card. Report card dot problems correct. And you see how it gets rid of the error? Because you can actually see information from static classes. It's kind of neat. So let's get rid of this line now. So when we play this menu, right now problems correct should be equal to 0 and 0. And so when we play this, this number here should say 0, 0. Maybe there's a chance it'll say null, like there's no value there, like N-U-L-L. But I would assume, I'm making the assumption that it's going to say 0, 0. 0, 0. Okay, good. All right, now, so simply before we get to this menu, we're going to update while we're playing the game in math level 1. We're going to actually tell right before it gets to this part right here, before we load the scene over, we're just going to say we're going to tell the report card dot problems correct equals problems correct. And this problems correct here is this one. So in math level 1, we have a variable named problems correct. I could have put a different name for a report card in the report card, I guess, but I don't know. And it seemed like this was a good way to go. And then we're say problems total equals problems total. So it's basically the variable called problems total inside the report card is now going to match the same one in level 1, the same as in level 1. Okay, so let's go play level 1 and then see what happens. Okay, sorry, I had to turn the lights back on. Okay, so I'm going to save everything. Make sure, did I save all my files? Everything's saved. Let's go here. Let's go back to scene level 1. Let's play it. And after I do 10 problems, I go to the game over scene, and that code hopefully works. Let's see. So that's 16, that's 17, that's 9, 31, 30. Okay, let's just, and then I'm gonna get some wrong now. So we get a good score. So we'll have 7 out of 10. And there you go, final score, 7 out of 10. Great, okay. So that is it for this tutorial. I guess I'll make one final tutorial where you have a play again button or a menu button, and then you could loop through this whole game again. But right now we got final score, and it has it listed right there, 7 out of 10. Okay, have fun.